gotta pay the tax to the feminine. Let me say this real quick because I wanna talk about this. It's interesting to me that men like the Shannon Sharps, men like the Diddies, have gone their entire lives wanting to stay single and wanting to stay unmarried, usually under the guise of, I don't want to lose half. How interesting is it that these same men who never wanted to marry any of the women that had their children, never wanted to do right, always made women get their ass whooped to get $1 from them? It's so ironic to me that they did all that to defeat the program. They did all that to defeat the tax that is between a man and his money. The tax is a woman, is the feminine. Every time why you see some men where even if they may not be married or they may not be the best person, they still are successful. And if you look, whatever women they do deal with, they all don't want for nothing. Ooh, baby boo, I love you to each and every one. They know the tax. You'll hear men like Future say, all my girls got an AP. We ain't never heard about him abusing no woman. We ain't never heard about him going upside somebody's head. The reason why he able to keep his money is because he tell you, any woman I deal with, the money is there, right? But the men like the Diddies, the Shannon Sharps, who said he didn't want to even pay for his daughter's wedding, look how they lose substantially more than half by trying to defeat that program. Okay? The womb is the portal in between reality and the universe. Let's call it that. And your job as a man is to what? Create from nothing. How do you do that? It's really sex magic. It's really your thoughts and your energy when you're having sex with your woman. Okay. So therefore, that womb is a tax, baby. There is tax there, and you are better off being fruitful when it comes to your money and being plentiful with any women in your life, whether it's your mom, your sisters, your daughters. You go get some money, break your mama off. You go get some money, break your woman off. That's the real IRS. Women are the real IRS, and just like the IRS, you can evade them for however long you want to, but at some point, you gonna pay. That's the woman's womb. So it's ironic to me to see like the Shannon Sharps. And the thing about the program is it's so intriguing. Like sometimes the program will let you get everything you want because they're like, no, we're not going to make you lose now. You ain't got enough now. People where the program allows you get all the way to the top, that be you really
it's like
pissed
the feds
off.
almost.
Literally,
I'm gonna
they
build a
Puerto
case.
Rico.
Yeah.
And so the Shannon Sharps and the Diddies, that is how it is to me. It's wow. The program lets you get all the way there just so you could feel more of the burn when you lose it all.
Welcome back, y'all. Make sure you like the video. So, Sistas Goddis did an interview on the 3 Milli Productions podcast earlier this week, and I finally got to sit down and listen to it. And I'm probably not going to be able to cover everything. That video, that drove on for like an hour and a half, I think. And that's a good thing. You know, I love hearing Sistas Goddis talk. I love the way Sistas Goddis expresses herself. She's very authentic in the way she speaks. She's very thorough in the way she addresses stuff to people. And I just want to go out and say, yeah, this interview was good. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Six is thorough. I love Sistas Goddis. It was a good way that the interviewer just let her talk. Wasn't cutting her off. Wasn't, you know what I'm saying, trying to find dumb shit to get her to say. Like that interview, this is probably one of the realest interviews I've watched in a long time, where people wasn't trying to find the rage bait or the stupid thing to say to get the video to go viral. C6 went viral. This joint's going viral just off her being thorough. So we know you can go viral being thorough. It just depends on how people want to move, people want to move, people want to listen to. And the part that really stuck out to me was she was talking about so many different things. She addressed, like I said, this video I showed the feminine tax about how Diddy and Shannon Sharp, two high established men, let themselves go out funny as hell. Never really wanted to get married or settle down or anything like that. But you go out by somebody goofy like Shannon Sharp. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. I look at you sideways. You done been dealing with all these women for all these years. You are an NFL legend. You are Shannon fucking Sharp. And you go down by some 20-year-old white girl? 18, I think. How old was that white girl, y'all? She was around that age, right? and you let yourself go out from that. Like, come on, man. Like that. Like I gotta look at you goofy after that. I really do, because how you let yourself go out on that type of time like that? Like seriously. And then you gotta think Diddy's just a dickhead altogether. But the way my mom explained it to me, he been a dickhead his whole career. So she was like, nothing about Diddy was ever good before. So he just finally getting his comeuppance. Honestly, I was like, damn, mom, it's like that. She was like, yeah, I can't stand the nigga. I said, okay. She was like, I love the dance, little Diddy dance from back then. I love the music he put out with Biggie and them. But other than that, the nigga's a dickhead. I said, okay, you got it. But no, I want to touch on some other stuff Six talked about. Like that was just a little small thing. I like that little section. She talked about mom trauma. She talked about the boys. She talked about um, women with the pregnancies, the marriages. You know, Six the guy that's gonna keep it a beat on all of that shit, because that's how she runs her platform. That's how she runs her whole platform. And the part that came up, which I knew was gonna come up, was that she talked about Clifton Powell. In the interview with dude, I can't remember his name, he brought it up. He was like, yo, a lot of our old heads is going out sad right now. And Six was like, yeah, they going out sad. I said, yeah, because them old niggas was goofy. They've been goofy. Like, all you gotta do is put them at a table with a logical. This is the thing that kills me about the older generation of black men, especially them fucking Gen Xers. But Clifton Powell's actually a baby boomer. So that's actually kind of crazy, right? Put these niggas at a table with a logical millennial and a logical baby Gen Zer, you gonna see a very, very different mindset. You gonna see a very different thing. And I had to see this myself just at my job. Like I was like, yo, talking to the Gen X niggas, be ready to jump off a damn cliff, man. Be ready to jump off a cliff. Talking to some of the millennial dudes, it made me want to jump off a cliff because they act like them Gen X niggas. And it's so funny that the masculine brothers is like moving a different type of way. But Clifton Powell still sound goofy. Nigga, you 70, you sound goofy. You should be the knowledge in the room, but you was the problem. So now the younger generations had to see that and be like, why is the old head being the dickhead? He's supposed to be the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we're seeing we're finally seeing a shift, and they didn't dive too deep into it, but they were saying like a lot of these old heads going out sad, and again Shannon Sharp being one of them, Diddy being one of them. It's a lot of these old head niggas going out real sad right now, and it hurts me because I was like some of them old heads, you be like, damn, they should be like tip top doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? They should be established, which they are, but they're not established in the mind though. They established financially, but they're not established in the mind. And just for y'all niggas to lose half to people you were never even married to, all them years dodging marriage, oh, y'all deserve what y'all got, yo. Y'all deserve what y'all got. Clifton Powell, somebody he's just learning how to love at 70 and shit. That hurt my soul, but at the same time, it's like you never really tried to get the help. It's crazy, man. Like the old head, like I said, the old generation, the younger generation, we can really change the narrative of black men. We've already been doing it. And I'm not going to say all the older generations were like that, but a lot of them were. And a lot of the older generations are still involved with helping us change the narrative to this day. So I thank them. I thank those brothers. I done met a lot of brothers who's married to their wife, got their kids, they ain't got no kids everywhere else. Senator is just, you know what I'm saying? In their daughter's life, their son life, whatever. But a lot of brothers like that from the older generation. Because, you know, let black women tell no black man just wanted their kids back then. And still no black man want their kids now, which is fucking ridiculous. But whatever. So it's just a lot that's going on with this. And then she talked about the mama trauma, which that was my favorite part. And not because it made the women look bad, but it just goes to show that all this talk about how the dads be affecting the kids and this, that, and the third, and no, a lot of times it be the mom. A lot of times the mom is fucking cuckoo labanza, man. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs out this month. Like, you see what I'm saying? And addressed that. She was like, yo, sometimes you gotta cut the mom off. Like the mom is the one you probably need to cut off sometimes because the mom is the one that's on the goofy ish. Well, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these black men don't know how to talk to women, or we know how to talk to women, or don't know how to give a respectful, combative argument with a woman because as soon as she start yelling, you see your mother, you see your mom. You don't know how to have an opinion or anything like that because your mom. You see your mom. She was like, if your mom traumatized you that much, you need to cut her off. I said, "Ooh, damn." You know what I'm saying? She brought up some other stuff, stuff with the girls and things like that. And she was right. I do think that with our generation not talking to our parents, if we realize how much they fucked us raw, I think that's fair. You fucked my life up. I don't have to speak to you anymore. I think that's fair game. If anybody else got something better, leave it in the comments. But I do think that that's fair game. Like, but all I'm gonna say is like, yeah, it's a lot of topics. Like I said, I wasn't gonna cover all of them because I don't remember the whole damn video. That was an hour and a half long. Damn, she was going in the whole time. When I tell y'all, like, go shout out the 3 Milli podcast, shout out the Sistas Goddis, but you need to go check this interview out. It's something that I think a lot of sisters should sit down and listen to. A lot of sisters should sit down, look at Sistas Goddis, look at how she presents herself, look at how she talks, listen to her. Six done been there already. Listen to Sistas Goddis. And I really think y'all will start to see things from a different lens. Anyway, I didn't want to make this too long because the interview was too long. Like I said, shout out to the 3 Milli production. Shout out to Sistas Goddis. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more. And I will see y'all on the next one.
Internalize whatever abuse they were given. So now you're her daughter. Now you're her direct reflection. You have got to learn, if you want to heal from your mama being your number one hater, you got to stop internalizing it. You have to understand that whatever she does to tear you down or hold you back, this is her wanting to stop her younger self. She resents where she ended up so badly that by seeing you as her daughter, nothing is more a reflection of a woman than a daughter. If you're a woman and you have a daughter, God showed you yourself in the number one way. And according to the program, you better learn what the lesson is supposed to be learned. So if you as a girl, if you internalize your mother not showing up, sabotaging you, beating you down, talking down to you, if you really say, okay, she don't like me, if you really wait on her validation, that's a ritual. That's a spell that's put on you. You've allowed it because that's your mother. That's the ultimate spell. You came from her. So if she's wishing that on you, you have to compartmentalize and say, listen, whatever she's doing and saying, you ain't did her nothing. You her child. You ain't asked to be here. Like, really think about it. Half of the issues girls have with their mama being their number one op is they are giving in to issues the mother is creating that's not even real. She's simply looking for ways to sabotage her younger self that she's seeing in you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's not your problem. Your job is to weigh your options and say, how bad is this? Is it bad enough where I could just kind of, limit my contact with her? Is it so bad that I need to go completely no contact with her? You'll know. There are certain things. If your mama know that you got SA'd and she didn't do anything about it, that's an instant cutoff. If your mama was physically abusive to the point where, it's CPS, it's her going to jail, she need to be cut off. Why? Because the program. Because your children can never come in contact with that. You got to break that bond. That's the test. Okay. So number one, more girls need to go no contact with their mom. If you 30 and up and you've been expressing the same boundaries, okay, if your mother has interfered with your life, if you see that, have a moment to yourself and think, is your mom ever going to come to you and say, you know what? You're right. I thought about everything you said and I've been wrong. If deep down you know that's never happening, you probably should go no contact because letting her have access to your energy will you up. She will try to destiny swap with you every chance she get. She will try to put a ritual on you every chance she get because you are her blood. So there is no living in peace with it. You have to cut that off completely. And so many girls are taught to endure because that's still your mama, when exactly the human brain can barely comprehend. Do you know how hard it is for someone to mentally comprehend that the woman that brought you into this world literally wants to see you fail? It's almost impossible. So what you got to do is cut that contact and always leave a healthy way in. Never cut them off and say never again. Okay, if God always forgive us, you got to forgive your mama. So if you got to just say, when you're ready to go to therapy, when you're ready to apologize and change your actions, you're welcome back in my life. They'll never do it, but now the program is off of you. Now you did your part. You gave grace. You gave space to come back if they choose health. So now you're done there. So more people need to stop giving into that whole, that's still your mom, that's still your dad. No, you're still their child. What about what they're supposed to do for you? That weird one-sided thing is slave mentality, because you're too scared to speak up on your abuse. You're too scared. And most of our parents got abused by their parents, and they have a culture of, we didn't ever talk about it. So we need to be the ones that say, no, we're not doing that. And if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your future children, because whatever you run from, oh, it's going to hit them kids times 10. You got to face it. So if it's hard for you to look your mama in the eye and say no, and say something got to change, and if it don't, I'm going to change it. If that's hard for you, whatever the assignment of your children will be 10 times harder. And this is how you end up with generational breakdowns. It's everybody's running from their assignment. So if it's hard for you, imagine how hard it will be for your children, and look at it that way.